Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of On the Go Chicago Sports, where we talk all things Chicago sports. It's your boy, Mike B. Got my man's Big O back with me today. How you feeling, Big O?
Feeling pretty good now. Feeling pretty good, man. It's been a long week, but we here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I want to apologize for the I took the whole week off last week, so had to get my mindset right before we start this Bears season. And this Bulls season is surely coming up pretty fast. So I'm back. We back. Let's talk some sports. Today we gonna talk some Chicago Bulls. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers making a huge trade for Donovan Mitchell. Bleacher Report steady disrespecting DeMar DeRozan, calling him one of the overrated players in the last 10 years. And we're gonna cap it off with some not too good news with Lonzo Ball to miss training camp and possibly the start of the season. So first off, let's talk about this Cleveland Cavaliers trade. We all thought that. Well, I thought Mitchell was going to the Knicks. The Cleveland Cavaliers came out of nowhere, sending Larry Markkinen, rookie wing Ochai Abaje, Colin Sextons, and three unprotected first round draft picks 2025, 27, and 29, and two pick swaps in 26 and 28 for Donovan Mitchell. What's your thoughts on that, bro?
Man, bro. To be honest with you, that was a great trade for the Cavs, man. That was a great trade for the Cavs. I'm actually when I seen it, like my mouth dropped. I'm like, no, get out of here because like you, I thought it was for sure either the Knicks or Miami. Knicks probably was because I'm like they had everything that it took to get them. Miami was the next landing spot. I was thinking one of those two teams. I had no idea the Cavs was gonna make a play on Donovan Mitchell. Man, the East is stacked, man. The East is stacked. You know, I got an early prediction, man. I think Cavs gonna be a tough team to beat, man.
Yeah.
You put Donovan Mitchell. You talking about a guy that averages like 28 in the playoffs. You plug him into what they already have, and Darius Garland, a second-year player who's only going to get better, and Evan Mobley, defensive stopper in the paint. Jared Allen, you still kept Karis LeVert. Man, I would say if they can get like one, maybe two more 3-and-D guys, that team gonna be extremely hard to beat if it works how it looks on paper. So
Yeah, I think this upcoming season it might not be they may just hit the ground running. We seen the Bulls do that last year. They put that team together and hit the ground running. We may see that from this Cleveland team. I like this move for Cleveland. Usually, you never really seen Cleveland make a big trade like this. The last big trade, what Kevin Love and for Andrew Wiggins, that's probably the last kind of big trade the Cavs made. And that was just to lure LeBron James to Cleveland. So the Cleveland not really used to making the big moves like that. So it shocked me. I think the team really gonna be good. You got Evan Mobley, Jared Allen still back there at center. Darius Garland is on his way becoming one of the great point guards in this league. So yeah, I'm really intrigued by this Cleveland Cavaliers team. So, but my question is to you is a lot of Bulls fans is going crazy that does this mean that the Cavs overthrown the Bulls? What would you say?
Um, I've been going back and forth on this for like the last few days. Uh, you know, I mean, we just speaking on opinions and what we think, what we feel. So my feeling is that I think I think that knowing that they have the big mans that they have, I think the Cavs may be a tad better if you pencil in Lonzo being injured. They may be be a tad better if you pencil in line. Now this is the key for me, and I was talking to one of my to my brother about this. I think what's going to offset the Donovan Mitchell trade is seeing Patrick Williams become that guy. I mean, this means he have to be that guy because not like he's going to be guarding Donovan Mitchell, but what Patrick Williams becoming looking like a future All Star. What that means for the Bulls is that we can match up better. You know what I'm saying? Because the Cavs have no one that can guard Patrick Williams. So if Patrick Williams become that guy, we got DeRozan, we got Zach, we got Vooch. We know that's going to offset a lot of the scoring with Garland and Mitchell will do, and you count in Evan Mobley defense and what him and Vooch will be battling the paint. I think Patrick Williams will be the offset. Like, now, who you have for me? You know what I mean? And I think it's going to take that. It's going to take that, in my opinion, for the Bulls to now regular season. If we talking about wins, I mean, I can see the Cavs getting 50 to 55 wins because Mitchell was basically by himself in Utah in the West, getting them to the playoffs every year. You plug him into a team that has two other All-Stars already. You know, if you want to count in a former All-Star and Kevin Love coming off the bench, you know, that team.
I forgot Kevin Love still on that damn roster. Damn.
Yes, they loaded, and like I'm a big Donovan Mitchell guy. I've been a big guy. I mean, his first year in the league, you know, if you remember, like he came in as a rookie, putting out Russell Westbrook and Paul George. He averaged like 30 points as a rookie in the playoffs. So you know, when I think of Donovan Mitchell, I think of a guy that ain't scared of the moment. You know, he been in the playoffs. You know, he knows what it's like. So I don't think it's nothing shook about him. So you plug that into a young Cavs team, that's dangerous for everybody out east. So the Bulls need to get healthy for sure, bro. If you give me a healthy Lonzo Ball and an improving Patrick Williams and improve Kobe White, I'll still take the Bulls. But it's going to definitely take that.
You made a lot of good points. I'm gonna go off your Patrick Williams. I do think Patrick Williams needs to be that guy in order to improve this Bulls upside, this team upside. Because like you said, I don't think nobody on this Cavs team can really match up well with Patrick Williams. I don't even think Evan Mobley can match up too well with Patrick Williams. You know, they did exchange some baskets throughout the season when what did we play the Cavs when Patrick Williams was healthy? I got to go back and I think
Yeah,
we
we got to
did.
check that.
I think we
Yeah, we
did.
may have one game, but yeah, we have to
Yeah,
check
I
that.
think towards the end of the season we did get a game with Patrick Williams and Evan Mobley. I remember them facing up with each other. But yeah, I think Patrick Williams do gotta step up and be that guy because we gotta right now. I think the Bulls are still a better team, but in the future, when the Demar Vooch age, I think Patrick Williams gotta be that guy to take a majority of their load for to stay up with these teams, and that's
Yeah,
why I would, say Patrick Williams need to be that guy. But as far as
yeah,
this upcoming season, I think the Bulls are still a better team. I probably get a lot of hate for this, but I never was a Donovan Mitchell fan. I I think he's okay shooting guard. It's like the things I can say about Zach, you can say about Donovan Mitchell, but to me, I think overall Zach is the better player. I think it has been times where we see Mitchell with a good team and just flame out. Like Zach, we seen Zach with a bunch of bad teams. I think last season really showed us before the knee injury came that Zach got another gear he can tap into. And I think those chunk of games made me realize that Zach is the better player over Donovan Mitchell.
yeah. I went back and forth with this. I had a separate conversation a few months ago about this, and the debate. I would have totally agree. I think everything Donovan Mitchell can do, Zach can do. The difference is I seen Donovan Mitchell do it on the biggest stage. You know what I mean? Zach has yet to prove it on the biggest stage, and I think that you have to take that into account when you talk about somebody that's familiar with territory. Like when we talk about Zach LaVine in the playoffs against Milwaukee having a straight lane to the basket to pull a game within one, but he chose to took the three. It's plays like that. You know, experience know, like, okay, I got a chance to get two. I'll take the two. I can get the three later. That's what the difference, I think, between Donovan Mitchell and Zach. Donovan know, like, okay, I'm gonna take the easy bucket. I can get the big shot later in the game because it's coming back to me. So I
I
want to
feel
see
that.
Zach. Yeah, I want to see Zach elevate to that. But skill wise, yeah, he can do everything that Donovan Mitchell can do. So for me, it's really Evan Mobley because Mitchell and Zach X each other out if you're talking about just scoring guards, but it's Evan Mobley. This is a kid. He's 20 years old. He's going to get better and better
Yeah.
and better. So he has two guards that's explosive, can shoot it. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the and you mentioned it as far as down the line. All those guys are like 25. I think Mitchell only like 25. So
Yeah.
they
And
are built for now and the future.
and I think
So
I think we can match up. I think we match up well with them. Like on the wing, we got Lonzo, Caruso, Ayo, Patrick. I think Zach gotten better on the defensive end. I'm not gonna really say Demar, 'cause Demar is not really good on the. But I think
yeah,
on the wing we match up well with them. The thing they got us in is, like you said, um, Jared Allen. That man is a rebounding machine. And he kind of similar to what Rudy Gobert is, but I think his offensive game is better. So
right.
I think he
Yep.
probably play the same role as Rudy Gobert played with Donovan Mitchell, but his upside is way better.
Yeah.
I think Evan Mobley is going to be probably the second best player, if not probably the best player, once he hit his potential. And then it's all about what we do at the five and Patrick Williams to me. But I think as far as everything else, I think we can beat them by stopping
Oh
them,
yeah.
not letting them get 30 points apiece. And I
Yeah.
think
Most
Lonzo,
definitely.
a healthy Lonzo is just as good as Darius Garland as well. So
I definitely give you that. I think having Lonzo is a big, very important to that. Like you just said, I mean, you talking about a 6'7" guard that can defend. Yeah, so I would love to see that Alonzo clamp Garland down, and then you know what I'm saying? Because I do think we got the better defensive guards that can. We got Caruso, we got Ayo, we got guys to throw at these guys to handle them. To at least keep them contained, keep them to a
and
low shooting percentage.
and we kind of more of a veteran team. Once like it's all about who's gonna figure it out first, our young guys or their young guys. Once whoever figure it out first can take control of the Central Division and the Eastern
Yeah,
Conference.
for sure.
But right now, I would say the Bulls. But the Cavs got a really bright future. But my last question to you before we move on to the next topic: do you see LeBron James eyeing that situation in the near future and maybe possibly retiring there with that squad?
I mean, I can't. To be honest with you, it wouldn't. He wouldn't be human if he didn't at least if it didn't just pop in his head like, "Ooh, that's a nice team." Like,
Take a
the
vet
crib.
minimum.
Yeah, the crib got a nice team. I like that. Um, do we end up? I can see him retiring there. I don't know if he go back to win one there. We know his biggest motive's been to pay with Bronny, and now the rumor is Bryce possibly being uh, targeted to us playing with both of them. So um, I can see it happening, but I feel something just tell me it just won't happen. I think the LeBron superstar team ship jumping the sail. I think personally, I think he feel good where his career is at. If he go back, it'll be fun to watch, but it wouldn't, I would for the Bulls. I still think we talking about the age in LeBron now, so I wouldn't be as scared for the Bulls at that point. But would it be fun to watch? Probably so. Probably so. It'll be good for him. It'll be a good ending for him. But I ultimately think he retire in LA He may do a 1 day thing and just get his jersey retired in Cleveland. We know him and Dan Gilbert had their differences, so we'll see how that turned out for that to happen. But it is
Dan Gilbert
interesting.
gone. They got a Kobe Altman. I think
Oh, Kobe Altman.
yeah, African American GM.
I'm talking about the owner, not the GM. Dan Gilbert's still the owner,
Oh
right? I think he's still the owner.
no, Dan Gilbert was the GM. He
Was
in
he? Let me do my research.
he I think he in New Orleans.
Oh shoot, bro.
Yeah, he in New Orleans.
Hold on. You you may be right. Uh Dan Gilbert. Well, no, he was the owner. He was the
Who
I don't know, hold on, because it ain't. Yeah, it said he's the owner of the National Cavaliers, so he still is the owner,
so
Dan Gilbert.
who's the GM
The
then?
GM is the other guy in New Orleans, but his name is if I'm gonna
I
pull it
may
up.
I may got them confused then.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Dan Griffin. That's
Dan
it.
Griffin. There you go. They have the same first name, about the same letter. There you go.
Yeah.
So you got Griffin. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we
But
know. Yeah.
I think Bron do retire on the Cavs.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
just
gonna
to
be
me.
surprised.
By then they probably hashed it out, and he might retire and then gets a job in the office or something. It just makes sense, retire the Cavs. They already gonna have a good team, so you ain't really gotta do too much. I don't think he's gonna do anything with in LA. As much as I like AD, well, as much as I did like AD, I don't think he's gonna stay healthy. They traded for Patrick Beverly. That team got a lot of issues. No
Yeah.
shooting.
Yeah.
They talking
Most
about
definitely.
keeping playing Russ and Beverly together. I don't think that's going to work. So I don't think he get one in LA. I don't think he get one at all. To be honest
The
with you,
rest of the way.
let some crazy move happen with LA, but they kind of fuck right now to even make a move like that. His best bet at a chip is to the Pacers deal. You go out and get Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, then that may give you the best chance at making some noise
Yeah.
this season.
Yeah. Most definitely. That's the best
But
scenario for them.
next topic we got is Bleacher Report is still disrespecting DeMar DeRozan. They put out an article saying listing 5 guys who's been the most overrated players the last 10 years. Number one is a guy who out of I think he out of the league right now. Avery Bradley.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
So you agree he was overrated?
Well, no, I agree that he's out of the league. I
Oh
wouldn't say he's overrated, but
yeah, I think he's a nice 3-and-D player. I never really expected him to be a 20-point per game player. I
me
always thought he
either.
was a nice 3-and-D player that every team like to have.
His
Uh,
years on the Celtics was he put up okay numbers for a role player on the Celtics, and he was a hell of a defensive dog. So I
yeah.
don't really get that. So
Next guy, Jamal Crawford. I think Jamal Crawford he was a nice 6 man, somebody who could give you buckets off the bench. I don't know how he made the list as overrated. Jamal Crawford, to me, he's not overrated. I think he was good for the role he was in, a 6 man.
that's all he was supposed to be. Okay. I don't know who made this. I gotta find out that the writer for this.
I think it says he won 3 6 mans. I'm trying to see what's their reasoning. Uh, it was in 2013-14 reserve. James Johnson, Ginobili, Patty Mills, and Draymond Green all had higher box plus minus than Crawford in 2015 and 2016, which was further down the leaderboard. And none of these really explain why he was on this list. But
Yeah.
It goes to
Okay.
number three. Number
Yeah.
three is I got DeMar DeRozan. Four is DeAndre Jordan, and five is Julius Randle. But I'm
Um.
before I get into, I'm gonna read you the last 10 years. So that's 10 years ago. Is 2011, 2012 season. Since then, DeMar DeRozan was a five-time All Star, and he averaged 20 plus per game in every season except the first year, and that's overrated.
The first year of his NBA career, or
Now the first year of, like, if we were to start the 10
from the
years,
from the 10 year
yeah,
mark.
and then let me see, and then Toronto Raptors made the playoffs.
Every year he was in Toronto,
Yeah,
from what I can
since
remember.
so he got traded in 18-19. That's when they won the finals. Before they lost in the Eastern Conference semis. Before that semis, before that was the conference finals, first round, and then that's when uh the 2 years they didn't make the playoffs.
To me, whoever wrote that, this is like what I'm thinking. Like if they're going to say DeMar DeRozan, it was like the third most overrated player in the last decade or whatever, however they want to call it. They're basically saying if you never got it out the second round, you overrated. Like, so it's like, how can you call any guy, that score over 20 points per game, yet
Overrated.
alone, yeah, overrated. Yeah. And then even guys like Avery Bradley, um, these guys, been around the league for a long time. I don't understand how you
And,
call any player that had a job for as long as these players had overrated. You know what
and
I mean?
played on some really good teams. Like you said, every rarely played with some them good Celtics teams.
Yeah.
Jamal
And getting
Crawford.
minutes.
Yeah, Jamal Crawford had a nice stretch on that Clippers team. It wasn't his fault that they didn't reach their full potential, but he played on those teams and he produced. Like DeAndre Jordan was on the Clippers team as well. Julius Randle, to me, um, like I said, he's one dimensional, so you know what he's gonna do. But as far as the overall player, he's a solid player. He never really kind of had the team success outside that 1 year with the Knicks. But I'm not gonna sit here and call him Julius Randle overrated.
Overrated, yeah.
And
Are you
far as
expecting Julius Randle take you to a championship? Is that what we
yeah,
expected?
no, unless he had the players around him. Like out of these five, the person who had the most success was DeMar DeRozan. As far as like a team wise, he was the best player on those teams, and he ran into the best player at that time in LeBron James. Just imagine, Masai don't make that trade for Kawhi Leonard. That same Toronto team could possibly make a run to the finals,
Yeah.
and then when everything that happened with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson getting hurt, they still could have
They
won
could have
it
won it.
with
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah. Because to be honest with you, I mean, they had Siakam, they had Anunoby, they had Fred Van Vliet, they had everything else cooking that was cooking that year, and it would have came down to them in the Philadelphia that year. I say
Yeah,
one of them two would have took it. The Kawhi got the bounce over Philly that year, but
but that
yeah,
was some good Toronto teams. Like,
yeah, that team was built. All they needed was a guy to get them some buckets on that team. Siakam was two-way player. We two-way player. Fred Van Vliet, great shooter. He developed, became a really good player. You still had Cal Lowry. You still had I forgot what they had at the five, but I mean,
and another thing is a guy who plays a certain way but still can dominate. Like, guys not really shooting the mid range game. We seen DeMar DeRozan dominate just by taking mid range jump shots and getting to the basket post up. To call that overrated, I just think they just reaching right here. I think
yeah, most
they just
definitely.
wanted to make an article and to provoke some Bulls fans as far as DeMar DeRozan fan. I don't see DeMar DeRozan as being overrated. I think he's a lot of guys would die to have his career.
You
Yeah,
know
so
what? I don't know how he can write that this summer, yet alone last summer. But after the year he had, you had the nerves to come out and double down and right up, put him in that. What?
yeah, just
What?
give him more fuel for this season. Fuck it, we
Oh
going for
my.
30. We going for 30
Yeah.
this season,
Oh
Lamar.
my goodness, bro. That is absurd. I don't know. Maybe this writer, he just needed something to write about. He just came up with the most trash story and just
I like what define an overrated player. Like I can see to me it's somebody who came out with hype and really didn't reach that level. Maybe you can call that overrated, but nobody these guys on these lists is role players outside of DeMar DeRozan. So you
yeah.
can't call a role player overrated unless he's getting paid like an all-star.
There you
And
go.
maybe you can say that about Julius Randle, but
Right.
he in a situation where the team got to pay somebody, so they paid
Yeah.
Julius Randle.
He
He's
he
like,
had one good year with New
yeah,
York a couple years ago. But you think about every other situation he was in a trash situation. This first couple
yeah,
years in LA, they was going through the rebuild after Kobe. That team sucked. So what are you expecting? Everybody can't be Michael Jordan, everybody can't be LeBron, everybody can't be the guy. You know what I'm saying? So the Tim Duncans of the world. So I don't, for me, like when you talk about overrated, that means you had a certain expectation for somebody, which is your expectation, not everybody's, your expectation, and they didn't live up to it. So,
yeah,
but that, whoever wrote that, whatever his expectation was, he had some wild expectations.
yeah. Like I said, to be not to talk about this too long, but like I said,
Yeah,
this probably I'm gonna wrap it up. Every Bradley, my expectation, solid world player, 3-and-D player, never
yeah,
expected anything more than that. Jamar Crawford, maybe you can say it started the season when he was maybe this guy can be something, but once you got put in that 6-man role, okay, he thrived in that role. DeMar DeRozan reached the highest of highs. Maybe he didn't get to that finals, but he achieved a lot of stuff during this 10-year span. And I don't even think Julius Randle even made it to his 10th year. So for him to be on this list, that's crazy as well. I think he only been in the league about 7 years. Let me check Julius Randle out.
And do you know how hard it is to score 20 points in the NBA? I'm a guy never played in the NBA, but I'm going to assume from everything we hear, it's not easy to score 20 points a night, every night in the NBA. That is
Yeah, he only
crazy.
been in the league for 8 years. So wow. In the last 4 years, he's been averaging 20 and what rebounds at? About 20 and 8.
Julius Randle's a good piece on the championship. He's a good third, fourth
Option.
piece on the championship
Yeah.
on the championship team. He gonna put somebody that can, put him next to KD, put him next to somebody that know what they, put him next to these guys. He gonna play well.
Like
So
if the Knicks would have traded for Donovan Mitchell, that team would have been, solid. Oh yeah, Mitchell at that's the one. RJ Barrett would have been 2, and then Randall would have reverted back to that 3. Would have took a lot of weight off, his plate.
mhm.
So let's wrap things up with some sad news. Lonzo Ball will miss training camp and maybe the start of the season with that knee injury still lingering every time they trying to ramp him up. What's your thoughts on that?
I remember we had a different show. We had the segment when you asked me what is my meter on Lonzo Ball injury, and I said 75%. I remember.
Yeah.
For me, I said at the beginning, it's troubling when a guy tear meniscus and had 4 months to come back and don't come back. We seen guys tell meniscus they back 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. 4 being the earliest, but 6 to 8 weeks being realistic. I'm very alarmed. I said it because if the doctor's saying that meniscus is healed and your knee look fine, but you feel in pain, it's something going on in that knee, and it's not good. I don't like this for the Bulls by him being only in his second year in a 4-year deal. I don't like it at all. I wish him the best. I hope he get back to 100% for his own career sake and for the Bulls. But I won't. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you I feel good about it. I know a lot of Bulls fans. I hear him putting it out there that as long as he ready by All-Star break, we'll be good. I'm like, dude, that's what's you gotta look at the big picture. Why is he out this long? If he make it back in February, how much confidence is he gonna have in his knee? You know what I mean? Because that's mental.
We've been through that with Derrick Rose having trying to get him to feel confidence in his knee for being out a while. But let's just say he would have injured it on the off season and he would have came back All-Star break. I would have been perfectly fine with that. The reason why I'm alarmed with it because it's been out for so long. Like at first it was 8 to 12 weeks. Then once that happened, they're like, all right, you're gonna push it back a month. So I maybe he ain't 100%. I don't want to rush him back. So maybe we can keep him out to the playoffs start. That's enough time for him to come back, or a couple games before the playoffs, so he can get his jump shot. Yeah. So I'm like, that's cool. I'm not really don't rush him back. We doing fine. We were doing fine, but we should be fine. We wasn't fine. He wasn't fine. He missed the playoffs, and now we are here. So that's why I'm, alarming. But on the flip side, I'm gonna ask you the same question. I'm cool because I think Ayo is going to keep improving, and down there he might take Lonzo's spot. Just saying, you know, as long as Lonzo out, Ayo got all the opportunity in the world to go out there and show us that he can play that point guard role. Maybe Dalen Terry can get some minutes and show us that he can ball. And, yeah, man. So
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
I'm confident in what we got. You go ahead, bro.
Yeah. I'm right with you, bro. You said the flip side of it, blessings in disguise, and you mentioned Derrick Rose. What happened when Derrick Rose got injured? Jimmy Butler turned into the man. I can see that happening. I can see, knock on wood. If I got some wood in here somewhere, I wish the best for Lonzo, but
Facts.
if the worst, I can see Ayo definitely turning into that guy because he's made for it. This is a Chicago kid, Morgan Park, Illini. This is his moment. You know what I'm saying? This is his time to go out there and say, hey, I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna show y'all why y'all, the teams that passed up on me, why y'all should have drafted me, and that the Bulls y'all did the right thing by taking me. Dalen Terry,
And it's a
same thing.
contract season.
And it's a contract season. And it also looked like Dragic will be getting his 20 to 25 minutes. He gonna be getting those minutes. So maybe AK is a lot more tapped in on Lonzo's injury than we think we know, because he that point guard spot is definitely handled, and
Yeah.
so I just hope that, like I said before, we seen it before. Brandon Roy, we seen Gilbert, we seen a lot of talent guys in the early, and it ain't like he tore ACL. We're not talking about a ligament tear here. We talking about some type of bone damage he got in there. So, man, we praying for the best for you, Lonzo. Just get back, get healthy, and hopefully we can see you out there soon. Because the difference between Ayo and Dalen Terry from Lonzo, from the vision, from passing the ball, from being able to push the pace. You know, we love all the guards, but Lonzo, he
He
just
different. He just
a
bring that
special
energy.
talent.
Yeah.
Yes, he's a special talent, man. That you can't just replace that overnight. So yeah, we just wait and see.
Huge praying for Lonzo to, to get back. I've been a huge fan of Lonzo since
Yeah,
UCLA. So I've been hoping the best for him. Hope he come back. But on the flip side, like I said, I'm still confident in seeing these guards take on that role. Ayo, I think he's gonna do some tremendous thing this season. I think he got potential to be a Drew Holiday type of player on both ends on the floor.
yes,
I'm,
he
I'm
do.
intrigued and see what kind of role Dalen Terry play. Dragic played solid last season with the Toronto Raptors, so I think he got something left in the tank, and maybe he might have a similar DeMar DeRozan season where he
Come
come
back.
out and
He having
average
a great
like
summer league too.
8 and
Dragic having a
5.
great summer league.
So yeah, I'm not really too what's the word I'm looking for.
Worried.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about because it's gonna be a point guard committee. Everybody gonna contribute in their own way. But Lonzo do have a special role with this team. But I think a lot of guys gonna bring that energy from Dalen Terry gonna bring the energy Lonzo bring. Dragic gonna bring the vision. And the
Yeah.
shooting. I gonna bring that toughness and shit. I ain't even mention Alex Caruso as well. So everybody gonna bring their
Let,
own
let
something
me
to
throw
the
another
table.
guy in there who I want to see get the ball at least in the playmaking, set the offense up. The guy we talked about already, Patrick Williams. I think he has that Paul George, Kawhi Leonard game. Like, get the ball off the board, push it, set the offense up. I think he can play some point guard.
And
He's in him
Demar can play make as well.
as well. Yeah, yeah, for
And
sure.
Vooch too.
Great
So it
playmaker.
so it's gonna be by committee. So I'm not really worried. We just don't need another injury from Patrick Williams, Demar, or Zach or Vooch.
Yeah, we
Not
need
saying
those guys
Lonzo
to
Ball
stay
don't
healthy.
mean a lot, but those guys is like the guys that we need 20 plus points from.
Right. We need
Lonzo
them.
can give you that, but Lonzo give you other things. So we don't really
It's
need
more
that
that
from
playoff
Lonzo.
setting where having Lonzo in the playoffs makes a bigger difference than the 82.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it take however long it take, I think we'll be good through the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Hold if we have to, but hopefully, not that long. But I would rather, like we talked about earlier, if we have to play, if we have a first round matchup against Cleveland, I want Lonzo on guard. I want all my guys. You know what I mean? And that's the special stuff about Lonzo
Yeah.
in the playoff setting. Not to say Ayo can't do it too, because we know what Ayo can do, but just to have all them weapons at your disposal, man, just it's
Yeah.
special for the Bulls.
Yeah. So I still believe this team gonna go out, shock some people.
50-55 games. What you got a minute?
I think 50, I'm not 55. I think that's probably too maybe 50. I think he get 50. I don't know about
50,
55.
51, 49, 51 between.
Yeah. I think 55 is like
It'll put them in the top two.
yeah,
Fifty-five will
number
put it.
one.
DeMar will get MVP. They get 55 games.
Yeah.
He'll be top two MVP
To
season.
to get to 55, we need a healthy Zach for the whole year. DeMar DeRozan, to give us both Zach and DeMar 25 apiece, and Patrick Williams maybe 17. Um, or Vooch. I think Vooch could play that Brook Lopez role that he did for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Contract
Well,
year?
he ain't gotta really go out and give you 15. I think
No,
12 and 10 for Vooch
no.
as a fourth option can still Bulls can still be a good team. But I need Patrick Williams to be a third option on this team. So
A
I'm
third
gonna
option
say
that play like a first, kind of like that
yeah,
Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole's playing behind Clay and Steph, but the way he
yeah.
scored Ford, he 2025. It's like he a first option now. That's what we need out of Patrick.
Right.
Like
Play Patrick more with the second unit guy, so he can run that unit. He can be the one in that unit. Go out, get his points, build his confidence up,
confidence. Yep.
and then mix the lineup back up. But I think 50 is probably where I'm gonna stay. I think 55 will have to be. They come out this gate without Lonzo
Something amazing
firing on
happening.
all cylinder.
Yeah, something
So,
amazing happened. They get
yeah.
the 55.
But I'm
In which
saying between 47 and 50 is probably where I'm gonna go with this
realistic.
team. Cause like I said,
Gotcha.
I really only got Brooklyn if they get their shit together, Milwaukee and Boston, and I think Philly just because we have no answer for Joel Embiid. Outside of that, I don't. The rest of the teams, I don't think they better than us.
Yeah.
I think the
I,
Miami Heat, if they haven't made no move, they might fall off. If they had their chance to get the championship. They came to the conference finals. They been to the
I,
finals. They
I was about to ask you, can I get an early prediction? But you just hit on it. You just hit on
prediction.
it. I think the addition of Mitchell moves Cleveland up, and it's going to push Miami down. Because I know a lot of people think, "Oh, is the Bulls going to fall?" No, I think we're going to be fine. It's going to be the Heat that's going to be down in that bottom tier between 6 and 9, fighting to get in, fighting
And
to stay
it is not because
in.
Jimmy is a bad player.
No,
I just think he as an offensive player he can't get it done being a one. Like the offense like going out giving you 30 on a consistent basis. I don't think he can. Somebody needs to step up, and we know Kyle Lowry is up in age. Ben
age,
Adebayo give you a game or two, and he may disappear.
but he's not a
Um,
scorer. So
yeah,
he give you everything defensively, but
Tyler Hero good, but I'm not really worried about Tyler Hero. So I think they may take a step back. I'm not really buying this whole Atlanta team. They're gonna be a good team, but they don't scare me.
no,
So I think the Cavs will move past the Heat and the Hawks. Toronto, depending on Scotty Barnes and what they do, they still can be a player.
they
And that's
brought
pretty much
that
it.
young back. They signed
Yeah,
Otto Porter. Otto Porter struggled to stay healthy, so we have to see that play out. But you're right.
yeah.
I think that's that third tier in the East. Like you said earlier, a few episodes ago, we like in that
Tier,
second tier,
yeah, tier
like top
two.
second. I think
Yeah. With the
like
potential to be
Toronto.
in the tier one. We got
What?
potential
Right?
to be in a
Exactly.
tier one.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's gonna be exciting. We got 4 weeks, about 4 weeks, I think, till training camp or something like that. We getting real close. So we getting to the best part of the year, man. We got football this week, got NBA in a few more
Choo!
weeks.
Hey,
Baseball getting ready to get close to playoffs. So yeah, we getting to one of the best times of
times
the
of the year.
year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah, man. Like I said to everybody listening right now, we're back. Well, I know I took a kind of took a week off, just to before football season started. I just wanted to rest
Decompress.
up. Yeah, before I go in for this long season we got. Hopefully, it's gonna be well. I think it's gonna be an exciting one. I'm really excited about this Bears team. A lot of guys count Chicago out football wise and basketball wise. Last year we proved them wrong with the Bulls. The Bears kind of struggled last season. So hopefully both teams really be some
Have a good
really
year.
good
I,
teams.
I, I
Yeah,
got Bears winning this Sunday. I know they going in as a 7 point underdog, but I think Justin Fields go in and he show out. I think he go in and show out. I like they pickups. They picked a lot of they gave a lot of second chance to players. So some defensive ends.
yeah.
So I think the Bears, man.
So
I think they're gonna shock a lot of people, man. I think they're gonna do a lot better than people think. I'm right there with
yeah.
you.
So two things. I ain't gonna give you my well I'm gonna give it my season prediction because I was gonna drop another video this week on it, but hey, fuck it, I'm gonna do it right now. So before we wrap things up, I know this is a Bulls podcast, but question one is, what's the score for Sunday's game? Question two is, what's your record prediction for this season for the Bears?
Ooh, I'm glad you're giving it to me. That's spicy right there. Okay, score Sunday. I'm gonna go 23-17 Bears. I give him a 6 point man. I think it come down to a final drive. I think Justin Fields get him on the final drive. Prediction for the season. I say the Bears. Woo, this tough right here. I say they go 8-8.
No, they
Eight,
got
eight,
what?
eight,
Probably
and-
eight and
eight
nine
and
or
9.
8-8.
I think they go. I think they go 8-9. 8-9. I'm sorry, I forgot that they did bump them another game. I think they go 8-9. And I'm gonna throw a little sprinkle in there for you. I think we beat Green Bay one time in that too. I think we take
Spicy,
I think we get a game. I
spicy.
can't tell you home or away yet. I gotta fill that out, but
Um, I'm a today for Sunday game. I'm going. It's gonna be a low scoring game. I'm going 17-14. I think both quarterbacks are still young. Trey Lance haven't really played too much, so I think they're not gonna really trust him as throwing a football a lot. And I think the same may go for Justin Fields. I think they're gonna use it's
yeah,
gonna be probably
Montgomery.
a run heavy game for both teams. And I think it may come down to a field goal. I feel like for the Bears side of things, our defense really can't let Trey Lance get off because we know the 49ers got some defensive players on their team. They're gonna disrupt Justin Fields, so we just can't let Trey Lance pick apart our defense. That's why I got the game being low. It's gonna be about who run game can establish dominance. So I'm going 17-14
Low score.
Bears on the Cairo Santo field goal. And I got them winning
Ooh.
between 8 to 9 games as well, missing the playoffs. But I think it's gonna be a good record. And I do think we're gonna beat Green Bay. I think it's gonna be week 2.
Mm. Is that home?
I think I think
That's
that's
in Green Bay.
I think that's in Green Bay Thursday. Yeah, Green Bay Thursday night football prime
Mm.
time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think I think that's where we can catch them because
yeah,
they
Aaron
got some stuff
Rodgers.
they work out too. And Green Bay usually start off slow. They usually go 0-2,
Yeah.
0-3 before they start getting going.
So
So
but hey, I just got a 2-0 start from me. So I ain't gonna tell you guys too much. I'll need you guys to come back. Probably have a video up Wednesday breaking down the schedule, giving you guys my final prediction for the Bears. So yeah, man, thank you guys for tuning in. We are officially back every Monday talking some Chicago Bulls. So make sure you make room for us. Any last word, Big O?
hey, we getting close to the season. Bears this week. Let's go Bears. Let's go Bulls. Get healthy Lonzo. Let's get it.
Facts for sure. Peace out.
Go hard.